In business, Kenyan goods exported to the European Union might be required to use sea freight over air freight due to logistic and climate-conscious requirements by EU authorities. Trade Principal Secretary Alfred Kobundo says many environmentally conscious retail chains in Europe are nudging exporters to use sea transport to cut on carbon. The Trade PS is urging exporters to adhere to the new requirements to increase their exports to the regional bloc.
Climate-conscious Europe is rewriting the rules of exports, demanding that exporters drop highly polluting air transport systems to sea freight. Major supermarket chains prefer to source their goods from exporters using sea-based transport. Kenya, which is a major supplier of fresh produce to Europe, is now being forced to rethink its supply chain systems. Flour and vegetable exporters have adopted a new transport mode where they will be transported via refrigerated railway containers to the port of Mombasa for onward export to Europe. Trade Principal Secretary Alfred Kobundo says consumer-centric product export is essential to avoid the shunning of Kenyan products in the EU market.
If you trade with the EU, if you export to the EU, you really have to keep in mind that at the moment one of the most important things in the EU is the fight against climate change and sustainability.
Kenya is a major exporter of horticultural products. We export tea, we export all of those kind of things. But we are also working towards being a 21st century exporter, one that is able to add more value, and one that, even as you export, is able to live and let live, so that you're able to actually green your exports.
Kobundo says sustainably produced and transported goods have a big appeal to European consumers who want authentication of goods lining their shelves.
In the EU, we got stricter measures to make sure that the climate and that anything that is produced is more sustainable. And whatever is valid for our own producers has to be valid, has to apply to everything we import as well.
Kenya has immense opportunities and capabilities to provide strong leadership in the area of our transition into the green economy. And what does that involve? From the perspective of trade and investment, it means that right from the point of production, we have to see how we are using energy. We have to see how we are reusing energy resources more efficiently. We have to see how our production processes are observing and complying with our own international commitments.
The new requirement is expected to shake business at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, which is Africa's busiest cargo facility. The PS further says negotiations with Europe on a new economic partnership agreement are ongoing and will be concluded soon.
We are currently exporting and having a trade relationship with the EU that's based on a market regulation, but we want to conclude this so that we have a durable instrument that facilitates two-way trade.
Hibak Said for Lunchtime News.